This domain will take us through input and output operations. For the next few videos, we will work with files using an app's code. Regarding gaming, one often needs to store values in a configuration or similar file for items such as player or game settings. One such example is this 311open file, which has code that opens a file, writes to it, and closes it on the first 3 lines of code. I have that code in this file to ensure we have a file to work with should you decide to run this code from any folder. By default, this code sends files to one's user folder under Users. What I want to focus on is the code on line 5. There is a variable called message test. For that variable, we see an open command and the name of a file to open. The R argument opens the file in read mode. I will cover read mode and other modes in upcoming topics. And since we are not yet reading any content from the file, as we are covering that in another topic, I have a print statement on line 6 acknowledging the file is open, and I will run this code to get that acknowledgement. The key takeaway here is that when opening an external file, we want to store that action in a variable because, as we will discover in upcoming videos, there are many methods we can run to read content from a file, write to the file, or do other actions on the file. We need to know how to open a file to do those actions on the file. In many programming languages, objects should be closed when they are no longer needed to save memory usage on a device from the app. In file management, files no longer needed should be closed, so that one does not accidentally alter a file that should not be altered. Closing a file frees up memory space the file is taking while in use, thus helping a device run more efficiently. Additionally, closing a file often allows it to be safely modified by other programs. In the previous topic, we saw how to open a file. We will continue going through the process of working with a file used in game management. In this version of the file, 312close, we have, on line 6, opened the 312 message text file. We will eventually write some text to this file, but I want to ensure that when we are done with the file, we close it. Thus, on line 8, I will add this text, message underscore test dot close with parentheses. The majority of programming languages use parentheses for method and function calls and definitions. The parentheses serve multiple purposes. First, they make functions easily identifiable and maintain specific syntax. Second, functions often require arguments, the values that get passed into the functions, and parentheses serve as a container for those arguments. It's worth noting that not all functions require arguments, and there are some cases where functions can be passed as arguments to other functions without invoking them, without parentheses. Those exceptions, for example, are in a language like Structured Query Language, or SQL. Many apps need to store information in files and read information from files. Now that we know how to open and close a file, let's further investigate how to read information from a file. I have the same code example we have been working on in this section, and in this version, 313read, we will add a read statement to read the file's contents. Before doing that, we need to ensure a file is open in read mode. The code on line 6, which contains the open method, has 2 arguments: the file we are opening and the status of the file. R stands for read, and R plus stands for both read and write. When opening a file for reading purposes, one needs to know whether some writing could also be needed for the file. If not, the mode should be R and not R plus. On line 7, I will add code to read the file's contents. The code is content equals message underscore test dot read, parentheses. We need a variable to store the contents of the file being read. Then on the next line, I will add a print statement to print what has been read. I will run the code. Right now, the 2 lines of text appear as 1 line. The cause of that is how the text is written to the file, which will be addressed in the next topic. For now, understand that for a file to be read, it needs to be opened in a kind of read mode. The contents need to be stored in a variable, and then the content can be disseminated through a print statement. Otherwise, a file can be opened, but we won't be able to see the contents of said file. When running an app, one may want to write information to a file to have that information ready to use later within the app or the next time the app is run. An example related to gaming can involve saving a player's status or collection of items used to play games. In our ongoing file example, we will examine the code that writes to a file. We also want to see what happens if we try to write to a file that does not exist, and what happens when attempting to write to a file that does exist. To help demonstrate these situations, I have my code editor, Visual Studio Code, and Explorer side by side. I have the 314 write file open, and the folder containing the files we will write to in this video. First, let's look over this code. On line 1, we have an open method to open a file called 314-message.txt. The W indicates to open the file in write mode. Like R for reading a file, W+ will open a file for reading and writing. In looking at the file list in Explorer for this folder, we do not see a file named 314-message.txt. In running this code, then, one of 2 things will happen. Either the file will be created, or we will get a message indicating that the file does not exist. Lines 2 and 3 write statements to the file referred to on line 1. Write statements write text to a file. Then line 4 closes the file to free up the memory space the file occupies while it is open. I will run the code, and we do not get an error message, so that is a good first step. In our user folder, we also see the 314 message text file appear. One key to managing files is knowing how a programming language will react to attempting to write to a file that does not exist, because knowing that determines whether we need to write code to account for a file that does not exist. For Python, such code is not necessary. Let's open the text file that has been generated. The write statements from lines 2 and 3 were written to the file, but there is no line between the 2 lines of code. As we fix this problem, we will also discover how Python handles writing to existing files. Does the file get overwritten or appended, meaning the text is added to an existing file? First, we want to add an escape character, a backslash, and an N at the end of the first write statement on line 2. I will place the cursor after the word configuration and type \n to tell Python to add a new line at this point. I will then rerun the code. Then I will open the 314 message text file. The text is now on 2 lines. And this is important to know. The original file was overwritten. Seeing this behavior begs this question: how do we add text to an existing file? We will cover how in the next video. Whereas writing to a file infers that we are writing to a new file or overwriting an existing file, the append command adds text to the end of an existing file. We have established that in gaming, one or more configuration files may be needed to store essential information, such as a player's statistics. For the append example, we will use a variation of the file we have used throughout this section. This version, 315 append, will use a file named 315message.txt. In the first 4 lines, we open the file in write mode, write 2 statements to the file, and then close the file. Let's say that some time has passed in the game, and we need to append some text to the end of this text file. First, let's ensure that any new text goes onto a new line. On line 3, I will add a backslash and n inside the quoted text to indicate the want for a new line after this text is added to the text file. Next, and this is a small example of reusing code, which is always preferable to retyping code, I will copy the open statement from line 1 to line 6. Then I will change the mode from W to A for append. As is the case with the R and W modes, a plus sign indicates opening the file in read and write mode. On the next line of code, I will add a write statement to add the player name to the text file. Then, on line 8, I will copy down the close function to close the file. So that we can see this code work properly in 2 stages, I will comment out the last 3 lines of code. We will cover commenting in more detail elsewhere in the course, but adding number signs to the beginning of a line tells Python to ignore the line. I will run the code, and the 315 message text file is built. In opening the file, we see the 2 lines of text from lines 2 and 3 in the code. To run the append portion of the code to mimic a real-life situation, I will add number signs to the first 4 lines to have Python ignore that code. And then I will uncomment lines 6 through 8 and run that code. Then I will open the file again and the append worked as text has been added to the end of the file. Remember that regarding existing files, write overwrites existing files, while append adds to the end of existing files.